Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Gemini April 2023 monthly illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So, hi, everyone, and welcome. This reading is taking a look at the energy ahead for the month of April. We're going to be looking at what you're bringing to the table, Gemini. We're going to be looking at what's going on around you in your environment. And then we're going to be looking at a block or a challenge that's coming in, what Spirit's asking you to, a word of advice from Spirit as to how to overcome it. And then what the opportunity is, what it's bringing in for you as you overcome the challenge. And then I'll pull clarifiers for all the cards on the table. We'll get a little deeper into the message. So let's get started, Scorpio. Let's get started, Gemini. I just did Scorpio's reading before yours, so my apologies. You could be dealing with a Scorpio, but I think that was just because I was filming theirs ahead. So your energy for the month of April is the Four of Wands. I like that. It's one of really sitting in the energy of celebrating how far you've come to this point. It could also be one where you're reviewing foundations in your life, because that's what the Four of Wands can speak to. It can speak to foundations in a marriage, foundations in a work environment, a foundation even of a certain level of education. But it's one where we get to review, again, how far we've come to build that foundation. Now, in your external environment, you have a card of opportunity. We have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups can speak to many different opportunities. It's kind of one where we get a chance to look without to say, is there something else out there that I could take a look at that might lend to me discovering more about my unique self? Sometimes it can be a card of illusion, where we are looking too much outside of ourselves and not looking within. But I get the feeling with this being in your external environment that this is more about opportunity coming in, especially when you're reviewing a foundation in your life, because there might be an opportunity to expand on this foundation. It could be an opportunity as well to see a new application for this foundation. So we have the Nine of Swords. What we're looking at over here is going from the recent past to your current energy for the month of April. So recent past, we have the Nine of Swords. That's a card of worry. It's a card of those, stressful thoughts that keep us up at night, the negative what ifs. With the Page of Cups coming in, this is that energy of getting to that hopeful place of, it's almost like this could be a part of yourself coming in here and saying, it's okay. Don't worry so much. It will all work out. This can also be your inner child. It could be even an individual who really embodies this energy in your life coming up and saying, it's okay, mommy, or it's okay, sweetheart. Like, don't worry so much. It will work out, because then we have strength as the main energy for your present experience and for the month of April. And strength is really about having the strength to stay in this energy of kind of hopeful, youthful optimism, connection to your emotional state, but in a way where you're overcoming that underlying worry, because there is a change here coming with the Page of Cups. This is the individual who's kind of curious about who they can share their cup with, where they can take their cup out into the greater world. And they're looking to gain more information about their emotional state, about what's in their cup, about meeting their own needs. So let's jump in here. Normally I talk a little bit longer about that, but that's pretty clear cut here. I think for many of you, there is this reevaluation again of some stable foundation you have in your current life, and possibly now, again, making a change around this. Maybe this is where some of you might have gotten back in touch with your emotional state, and now it's like, okay, have the strength to keep going, have the strength to share this part of yourself. That could also be that. It could be that you're going back out there from a slightly more vulnerable place to share who you are authentically with others. Okay, so let's go ahead here. We have the Star and the Princess of Cups, which is again the Page of Cups coming in. So the Star, I love that. That is a beautiful energy of reconnecting to your guiding dream, your guiding hope, your guiding principle for your life experience. But it is coming in as your main challenge. So, we think about it, well, how can that be challenging? And it can be challenging sometimes because when we reconnect with what we really want, when we reconnect with kind of the Page of Cups can be the dreamer, it can be that, again, the inner child calling within, that it can mean that there has to be a change because we have realized maybe how we have gotten off the path of feeling like we've been connected to our star. And with the Page of Cups coming in on the other side of this, yes, I think there's this feeling of kind of reconnecting to your inner child, seeing the star, but not knowing if you really want to bring that part of yourself out. And it is going to take strength to do that. But with the Five of Wands at the heart of your reading, what Spirit's asking you to embrace, this can be healthy competition. It can be a card of chaos because the number 5 is the energy of change and or chaos in numerology. But I also look at it as a card of kind of healthy competition of it's time to get back out there. It's time to see what you can do. You're going from the Four of Wands to leveling up on a foundation. Yeah, the next wand that you put on there is the Five of Wands. And it may feel a little like, okay, everything was stable, everything was great, but now I'm shaking things up. Now I need to see what else I can do with this, because we don't just stop at the Four of Wands. We have to continue moving forward. And Spirit's asking you, I think, this month to really get back out there, into the open market, whether this is because the Four of Wands can denote a relationship or maybe a yearning for that kind of thing, a marriage, something along those lines. For some of you, this is about getting back out on the horse to go out and date. For some of you, this is about getting back out there to see what a current skill set is that you have a foundation around is kind of worth in the open market. This could be just going out there and showing off your skill set as well. In your last weekly, the message that came through was really share what you want to change in your life. Share what you've been working on. Share what, if there's a collaboration coming in, something along those lines, because it really is going to, I think, attract the right opportunities to you. And that's kind of coming through again in April's reading. So we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. Now, the Seven of Pentacles is one where we have a chance to really look at what we've dedicated our time and energy to in the physical and what it's actually reaped for us. So this is where we can kind of look at that and say, do I continue to put time and energy and investment into something that maybe I am realizing is not giving me that return on my investment, that maybe I'm looking at that return now and maybe at one point it was great and now it's not. Or the reverse. It could be actually that, I got back out there and I realized, you know what, I really want to double down and I want to continue to invest in this. I want to go back and take a class now that's really going to allow me to continue to work on whatever I've been working on previously. Or this could be where you get out there into the dating world and you realize, gosh, looking at my apartment, I don't know if this is really suited for me bringing someone back, or is it, this is where you might realize something again about, yes, you had a foundation maybe around, took you a long time to get to owning your own condo or something like that. And then you went out there into the great wide world and you're like, okay, well, now I really want the 4-bedroom house. Or I realize that as much as this foundation was great, now I need to go back out there and maybe find an individual to, enjoy that with me. But now that I realize, okay, I'm getting back out there again, is this really, do I need to kind of go back and maybe put up curtains and, get a comfier couch or something along those lines? Because there's something coming in here around it. By going out there to see what you're kind of worth on the open market, whether in dating and love and work, it's forcing you to take a look at your current physical experience and wanting to say, do I want to continue to put time and energy here, or do I want to put it elsewhere? So Four of Swords coming in at the end of your reading here, kind of your final point of challenge, is this is a card of where we get a chance to rest we get to evaluate, and we get to really take a look at the stories that haunt us, the wounds of the past that are other people's stories. And I always love the depiction in this specific deck of it's 4 people, each with their sword of truth, each with their story. And they're sitting here and they're probably, at this oasis. They've all come from other places and they're talking and they're sharing their story. But when they all get up to go, each one of them will take their own sword. One individual isn't taking all of these. And so there's this realization of what is your truth? What is actually your story that maybe has been hidden among the stories that others or experiences outside of yourself have placed upon you? Meaning that a past failed relationship told you that you weren't lovable, and so you've adopted this story of I'm not lovable, or I'm too difficult to love in a relationship, or where you failed maybe in a work environment, and so you tell yourself, well, I can never get past a certain point because somebody told me at one point I was not a good manager, or you name it. There's going to be all kinds of situations that come in that haunt us, that tell us, like, whisper in our minds, you're not good enough. Whisper in our minds, you can't do it. Whisper in our minds that you'll never make more than that. And so this is really having that time to say, what's my truth? If I took all my experiences aside and all the negative things people have told me about myself, what do I actually know about me? What do I actually know about my talents? What do I actually know about a foundation I've built from where I've taken action? And how can I lean into my star that supports my inner child, my innocent, naive self? And how can I really move forward with this clear vision of who I am in my own importance? And that's going to allow you to tap into the strength here to really make use of this opportunity-rich environment out here. Opportunity-rich environment for a more innocent version of yourself. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have Princess of Pentacles, which is the Page of Pentacles. This is the individual who's just going to go out there and start to learn through direct experience. So this could be where you are starting to put out resumes, or you are starting to talk to people just to see, like, what you can do with something in the physical. This could also be a messenger coming in as well, giving you an opportunity, so that the pages can represent that. All right, so let's go ahead here. I'm going to pull some clarifiers. And we are going to get a little deeper into this message. So when I pull clarifiers, we do get more specific messages, so please only take what resonates. All right, so with the star, let's go ahead and see, what does Gemini need to know about the star? The Emperor. Yeah. Emperor's been coming up a lot for these readings. We are in Aries season. The Emperor card represents Aries energy. So there's definitely, many of us are really looking at the authority, the interplay between the I and the we in our experience, the I and everything outside of the I. So with the Emperor and the Nine of Wands, I think for many of you, there's been a certain level of burnout. That's what the Nine of Wands speaks to kind of a level of exhaustion. The Emperor can be maybe like where you're looking at where you've been battling with authority, or you've been battling with something in your element that has caused you to feel burned out. And you're realizing now, I always love the vision or the version of this Emperor card. It's the individual who looks like they're like throwing off the box or thinking outside the box, like realizing I don't have to hold myself small in this little box. There's so much more out there. I'm going to take back my power, and I'm going to throw off the box and go towards my star. So there is something here around maybe feeling burned out from dealing with those you felt maybe have taken power away from you. Now with the Page of Cups, we have the Two of Coins. So this is the day-to-day things that we do. And then we have, the Ten of Cups and the Queen of Coins. I love that. So the Two of Coins speaks to just juggling. This is like when we're just getting by, just doing the very bare minimum day-to-day. And it does denote generally us having to choose. At any given point, we can do one thing or we can do another thing. And it's about us getting very clear as to learning how to prioritize those things that really want to help us grow. what will emotionally ultimately lead to our emotional fulfillment. So with the Ten of Cups and the Queen of Coins, Ten of Cups is the happy family card. You can see here it looks like a marriage cake, a wedding cake. It's also our ultimate heart's fulfillment. And the Queen of Coins is the true maternal energy of the individual who's going to dedicate their time and energy just on one pentacle to grow that, to grow what will eventually be a part of this Ten of Cups. So there's a feeling here of kind of moving away from just doing for the sake of doing, or doing for the sake of just every day I'm going to just kind of go through the motions, and redirecting that focus to nurturing something. Now, for some of you, this could also be where you want to prioritize becoming a mother, or prioritize this energy in your life, prioritizing someone becoming a mother. But I do like that it's really stating that there's a difference between just doing for the sake of doing, or prioritizing what you want to grow, what you want to bloom into your eventual Ten of Cups. And the Page of Cups is the right individual to do that, because he comes with that youthful optimism of, this is my dream, and I'm going to start to prioritize it. Okay, so Five of Wands. So what can you do? The power really resides in your day-to-day in April. How can you really focus on, as you're doing things, staying in the present moment and really prioritizing, I could do that stresses me out, or not, I'm not just going to do and not think about it, or am I going to prioritize what I actually want to start to grow more of in my life? Five of Wands, we have the Star. Yeah, there we go. Getting back out there again in pursuit of your star. And it might actually make you be able to see your star more clearly, which is interesting. Yeah, Ace of Swords, clarity. There you go. And there's your truth. I think there's also this realization about the truth of yourself, the truth of what you're worth, the truth of who you are. And that is what's going to help you. That's probably causing you to go into this place of reflection here. Also, knowing what you want to what you want to grow more of in your life is going to help you also be able to see maybe where something is not reaping benefits, where you do not want to dedicate your time and energy, or a shift in how you dedicate your time and energy. So let's see what comes up for the Seven of Pentacles. What does Gemini need to know about the Seven of Pentacles? Three of Wands, bringing in opportunity. Now, it's interesting because one of my favorite tarot readers, she's really started to speak to the Three of Wands as a card of, it's a card of your ships are coming in, or you waiting for your ships to come in. But it can also be seen as we can only, our expectations have to be based on the actions we've taken, right? So if we're sitting there and we're not happy with what we're seeing as a return on our investment, or what we've been working towards, well, if we're sitting there expecting something to come in, but yet we've taken no action towards it, that's something to consider. But also with the High Priestess and the Three of Wands, there's something here that says the High Priestess is a deep knowing. You know what you want to bring in. You know what ship you're hoping is going to come through on the horizon. So with that being understood, what can you do in your physical environment to start to make room for that ship to come in, for that opportunity to come in? Now, this can be like, let's say this is all around work, and you really want to change your work environment. You want to follow a passion, or you want to just follow something that is going to be more in alignment with your Ten of Cups. And so you are sitting here realizing, okay, I'm not happy with the amount of money I'm making. I'm not happy with the work environment. But I do know I want a new job to come in, or I want to pursue this kind of work. Well, then your expectations can be based on new people coming into contact you, based on you then in the physical sending out resumes. Page of Pentacles over here, Princess of Pentacles, sending out resumes, talking to people, networking, going out there to see what's getting maybe even more training. Again, with the Seven of Pentacles, this could be actually growing your field of knowledge. This could be saying, okay, if I really want to maybe have that position where I get to be paid more, or I get to level up, well, then I need to go ahead and dedicate more time and energy right here, focused energy in this aspect of my life. So I'm going to sign up for this course. Or this could be where I want to make room for, this is romantic. I want to have a family and I want that to happen. Well, then what do I need to change in my physical environment to start to make room for that family to come in? What do I need to change in my day-to-day? Do I need to start working more to save for that so that I can build the nursery and I can have the savings account so that if I want to take time off, it's all those kinds of things. Where we start to realize where we need to prioritize to create the channel and the environment for this new opportunity to come in. And there's the Eight of Coins. I love it. So you go from the Seven of Coins to the Eight of Coins, the Four of Swords. This is learning how to perfect something. This is leveling up on a skill set. This is deciding to commit to a course, a path. And the Three of Cups, what you want to be celebrated for. The Three of Cups is one of, finding your soul tribe, but it's also one of maybe finding others who are going to help support you on what you want to grow. It's also about finding groups of people who support this for you. So again, if it's all of a sudden like I want to have a family and I want to start to bring this in, well, it's like, okay, but if you're only hanging out with single people and, or you could even have a family, this could be where you literally have a child in your life. This could be the Page of Cups, and you want to be able to nurture them and to grow the environment for them. And you want all of that. And that's part of your star. Well, then it's time to really start to, if you want to bring in social groups that are going to be supportive of you and your family, meaning you want to bring in other families, other people with children around the same age as your child, well, then you really need to go ahead and start to take action towards investing in that part of your experience to bring in others who will celebrate with you on that level. Now, it could be the same thing in work, if you want to go ahead and because this can also be joining, again, supportive groups. So if you want to focus on getting into one specific career path or in an area of your life that you really want to grow, maybe creatively or something along those lines, well, then finding groups of people who actually can help you continue to work on this. So if you want to be a writer or you want to level up in a certain skill set, this could be joining that club or joining that, group that meets up after work and everybody goes out and they, I don't know, one of those Toastmaster groups or something like that. Like there's something around this here where that could be very much what's coming in. But it's saying it's time to maybe evaluate again where you've held yourself back from doing so because of the wounds of the past. But now you know the clarity of what you really want to bring in for yourself. So start to go out there and work towards that. And the more you work towards that, the more you will bring in people who will celebrate with you on that level or who will support you along this new path. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands, fresh inspiration. This can be conception. For those of you where this is around a family or wanting to have a family, this could be the month, but it could just be, again, clarity. There's a lot of clarity and inspiration. And when we see our star, that of course those things are going to come in. It's that realization of this is what I want for myself. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make it happen for myself. High Priestess, I know what I want to come in. So now I need to start to build that foundation. I need to start to work towards it in the physical. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull pull an energy oracle card here to take a look at the energy for the month of April. So we'll start to see what wants to come in here for you guys. What does Gemini need to know? I love it. Adjacent possibilities. I feel like this came out for one of your other readings as well. I'm not sure. But Number 24 breaks into the number 6, the energy of love, the energy of what we can manifest in the physical when we work from a place of love for ourselves and love for others. So I always love this card because it's like we forget sometimes that there are so many possibilities to get to the same place. This is part of my true belief that we are never off our path, or that if we choose to take one opportunity, that somehow it's going to take us, again, off our path, and that we have to find our way back to it. It's that there are many different possibilities to continue forward towards a dream, a hope for ours. If you think about, charting a course by the North Star, you could be walking north, but you could be walking north a little to the left, a little to the right, and have totally different experiences, but still heading north towards your star. So there's this element of kind of the parallel universe feeling coming in here. So don't hold yourself to it can only come in this way, or it has to happen this way. The Nine of Swords. If it doesn't come in, then shoot, this is that realization of this month really opening yourself up to the possibilities. There might be something that comes in out of left field, to be honest, that again, the clearer you can get on what you really want to bring in, of what the ultimate emotional heart's fulfillment looks like, what you actually want to nurture into existence, who you want to celebrate and be surrounded by, who you want to celebrate with and be surrounded by, friend groups, familial groups, things like that. That's what's going to allow you, I think, to stay open to what wants to come in for you. Again, the more clear we are on what we want, the more we can start to just go with the flow of what starts to come in for us. Because we're automatically taking action then towards what we want. We're already moving, towards the North Star. So we have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, I think for some of you feel trapped, that there's, only one way to do something. Yeah, and the Devil. So this is saying don't be trapped by the illusion that you are not good enough for maybe a new opportunity that might present itself to level up. Don't hold yourself back from maybe something that is maybe outside of your original skill set. Also, don't hold yourself back from getting out. Let's say if this is around dating, don't hold yourself back from going out into the world of dating because because it's not in alignment right now with maybe what you think you're capable of, or, I'm not ready for a relationship. This is saying be open. You don't know what things will lead to. You might go out into the dating world, and that actually might lead to a new career path. Or vice versa. You might go out into the world looking for a new career, and that might lead to an abundance in your home life. So we always have to stay very open to how things come in for us. All right, I'm going to pull a Power of Surrender card here. And I can tell you that from my own life. I was really focusing for myself on, trying to find a job that would provide me with purpose, or, relight my fire. And as I focused more and more on my work, my home life blossomed. So it's very interesting how, again, we can get to the star through different means. And I also, when I went out into the dating world again after I went through my divorce, some of the people I met in my dating world, or in the dating world, ended up becoming friends or opening doors to other opportunities for creative passions and skill sets, even though we didn't work out romantically. So you never know how things work. It says surrender obsessive thinking, which Gemini, and I have a lot of Gemini placements myself, we're no stranger to the obsessive thinking. It says, if you're obsessing about a person or situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. I love that. So this is more about just kind of turning it over, saying, I'm gonna in my heart keep an eye on my star. I'm gonna start to take action in a way that supports bringing in this for myself, but I'm gonna be open to the fact that it is coming towards me. The right work environment, the right work opportunities, the right home opportunities, the right friend groups. These are all things that are coming towards me because it's a very fertile energy around you guys. Okay, I'm gonna pull a final card here. or since your reading was a little shorter, again, yours and Scorpio's readings were very succinct, which I like personally as a reader. But I do think coming from that perspective, Gemini, for you, the month of April actually may be, again, a month of clarity for yourself, a month of kind of just realizing it's time to put my head down. I see where I need to really focus my time and energy, where I want to invest, what's important to me. And it's really going to lead to a lot of opportunities for you guys. A lot of opportunities that are going to be in support of your inner child, or of support of a child in your life. If this is more around for some of you who have children, it could be something along those lines, that this is all about supporting that child. Okay, so we have Master Healing. I love it. Master number 33, which is the spiritual healer. It's mastering that energy, which I love. Okay, so I'm going to read just the first couple paragraphs that come with this in the book with this oracle deck here. For the card, it says, as you meditate, remain true to what inspires your heart and commit to your spiritual path. You become an increasingly powerful healer. You are here to live your own life, to be true to what genuinely moves you. The unconditionally loving guide and ascended master Serapis Bey comes to you now with a blessing of master healing to further your success on your path. The Master Serapis Bey is a beloved guide for those who feel a strong soul connection to ancient Egypt, for healers who are developing their own modalities, and those who love to work with high-frequency concepts. He also assists with the translation of spiritual inspiration into practical worldly plans. He comes to confirm that the Ascended Masters are aware of you. You are an integral part of a powerful spiritual team that has taken physical incarnation to help awaken consciousness into love. You are asked to tune into your heart. What do you love enough to overcome any obstacle to obtain it? What motivates and inspires you? Not what seems possible or practical, but what is authentic. We are most powerful when we serve authentically from the heart. A bird might learn how to dive underwater from time to time, but it is never going to be at its most powerful if it has to live underwater. It would struggle to thrive if it were to force itself into such unnatural expressions of its life energy. The bird yearns to fly because that is its divine nature and purpose. You too have divine nature and purpose, and your heart holds the clue. What feels most like you? And I love that because that's bringing in really the Emperor and the Nine of Wands here. There's something around realizing what's authentic to you, and that maybe you've pushed yourself outside of a comfort zone. This could be like the realization of, thinking you have to, that work was going to be your ultimate fulfillment, and yet the work world and fighting with the autonomy and your bosses and, or a, bureaucracy or whatever it is, ended up just burning you out. And you realize in all of that, I just want to be a mother. I want to get married, and I want to have children, and I want to be a stay-at-home parent, and that is my goal. And suddenly it kind of, again, the realization of what is more authentic to you, that is where the true inspiration comes from. Maybe you're trying to be, again, forcing yourself, like the Emperor here, forcing yourself into this box. Now, it could be, obviously that's just an example. I can state it from my own perspective, but this can also be the opposite, when we're looking at foundations, that maybe, you thought you were going to be the family person and all of that, and suddenly you realize, I want to be the creative person. I want to be the person that nurtures a creative project into expression. And suddenly now you have to change your whole dynamic into, how am I going to bring that in? How am I going to create the space to allow for that, to allow for this creativity in my life? And that's what starts to bring in those opportunities for you. So there is something here that's either in support of, again, the dreamer within, the Page of Cups. That is truly the child who just is coming up with, this is my dream. This is my dream, and I know it's going to happen. And even though as, a more mature adult, you might look at that and go, oh, sweetheart, that's not going to happen. This is asking you to get into that place of, no, yes, it can happen. Master Healing. This is the realization that we do have, the more we act in alignment with our true authentic self, and the more we are healed around just being confident in who we are and what we're here to express, the more our life kind of unfolds in a easy way for us. That again, that adjacent possibility just kind of falls in our lap and we're like, oh, well, I never thought about doing it like that, right? I've been so focused. I really wanted to have that romantic relationship come in, but I didn't realize it was going to happen that fast, or I didn't realize that, it's like that kind of thing. So the more we heal our clarity of ourself, clarity of why we're here, clarity of what we bring uniquely, and we kind of just, again, don't overly obsess. We just become like the high priestess, just quietly aware of what we want. Quietly aware of what we want to work towards. And then we just start to work towards it. And we hold the authority within ourselves to do so. We have the strength, the grace to say, the courage to follow that. It will bring in the support. It will bring in that possibility, that opportunity. But we have to be open to that. And confident, not getting trapped by the devil, confident that we can do it, confident that this path is for us, that this opportunity is for us. And it's within it is for our highest potential. All right, Gemini, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all have a wonderful month ahead. I think it's going to be a month where you are going to be surprised by an opportunity that comes in and by the level of clarity also around what you really want for yourself. I will be releasing a couple more rounds of my Tarot Bite, my mini readings for the week. Closer to the end of the month, I am going on vacation for a couple weeks to visit family in California. So you won't be hearing from me until a little bit later, but I hope you all have a wonderful month ahead, and I look forward to reading for you again, Gemini, in May. Bye, everyone.